All right, let's talk about something that I'm sure has crossed your mind at some point. How do you actually make up for a missed prayer? Today, we're going to demystify the whole process using the Hanafi school of thought to give you a really practical, straightforward guide to qada prayers. Yeah, we've all been there, right? You overslept, a meeting ran way too long, or maybe you just completely forgot. And in that moment, there's this little bit of panic. What do I do now? Well, let's get rid of that uncertainty and replace it with a clear, simple plan. Okay, so first things first, let's get the main term down. When we talk about making up a prayer after its designated time slot is over, that's called qada. It's basically fulfilling that missed obligation. And this idea is the foundation for everything else we're about to cover. So where do you even begin? Well, the Hanafi school gives us this really simple but super powerful starting point called tartib, which just means order. Think of this as the golden rule for making up missed prayers. It's actually very logical. And here it is, the rule in a nutshell. Before you jump into the prayer that's due right now, you have to take care of any you've missed first. And you've got to do them in the same sequence you missed them. See? Simple and logical. Let's make this crystal clear with an example. Imagine it's time for the afternoon prayer, Asr. But just as you're getting ready, it hits you. You missed the noon prayer, Dhuhr. So, according to this principle of order, you stop. You first pray your qada of Dhuhr, and only after that's done do you pray the current Asr prayer. And you know, this whole practice isn't just some made-up rule. It's grounded directly in prophetic guidance. This specific saying really emphasizes that urgency. The moment you remember a missed prayer, that becomes its new appointed time. Now here's another detail that's absolutely crucial. You make up the prayer in the exact same state you missed it. So let's say you missed a 4-unit prayer while you were traveling, so it was shortened to 2. You make it up as 2 units, even if you're back home. And the other way around, if you missed a full 4-unit prayer at home, you make it up as 4, even if you're now on the road. The qada always has to mirror the original. Okay, so we've got the golden rule, but you know, like with most rules, this one isn't absolute. There are a few specific, really practical situations where this obligation to maintain order is actually waived. Understanding these exceptions is key to getting the full picture. So yeah, there are exactly 3 key scenarios where the rule of order is lifted. And honestly, knowing these is just as important as knowing the rule itself. All right, here are the big 3. First, just simple forgetfulness. If you pray the current prayer and you've genuinely forgotten you had a qada to do, your prayer is totally valid. Second, time is running out. If making up the old prayer means you'll miss the window for the current one, you prioritize the current prayer. And third, and this is a big one, having a large backlog of missed prayers. Let's dig into that last one a bit more. This shows the threshold perfectly. If you have 5 or fewer prayers to make up, that rule of order, or tartib, is absolutely mandatory. But the second that number ticks up to 6 or more, that obligation of order is lifted. From that point on, you can focus on praying your current prayers on time and then make up the missed ones whenever you can. Okay, so that immediately brings up another question, doesn't it? Let's say you had, 10 missed prayers, so the order rule was waived. You work really hard, you catch up, and now you only have 4 left. Does that rule suddenly snap back into place? And the answer is a clear no. The thinking here is all about making things easier, not harder. Once that obligation of order is waived because of a hardship, it doesn't just reappear. There's this legal principle that says the fallen does not return. It provides a consistent, manageable path for someone who's genuinely trying to catch up. All right, we have totally covered the how, but what about the what? Which prayers do you actually need to make qada for? Let's put together a really clear and simple checklist for you. So what's on the list? First and foremost, you absolutely have to make up all 5 of the daily obligatory, or fard prayers. No question. You also must make up the witr prayer, which is considered necessary or wajib. Now, for the voluntary sunnah prayers, things get a little conditional. The Fajr sunnah is only made up if you missed the main Fajr prayer along with it, and the Dhuhr sunnah is only made up after you've completed the main Dhuhr prayer. Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground, haven't we? We've gone from the golden rule of order to its exceptions, all the way to the specific prayers you need to focus on. So let's just boil all of this down into a final, easy-to-remember summary. So if you only remember 4 things from this whole explainer, let it be these. 1, your qada prayer has to mirror the original prayer, travel or home. 2, order is the default rule. Always start there. 3, remember those 3 big exceptions: forgetting, running out of time, or having 6 or more missed prayers. And 4, the non-negotiables are the 5 fard prayers and the witr prayer. And really, that's what it all comes down to. At the end of the day, understanding these rules isn't about memorizing a bunch of technicalities. It's about removing anxiety and replacing it with a clear, manageable way forward. So the real question to leave you with is this: how can having this framework bring a greater sense of peace and structure to your own personal worship? Thanks for joining me.